As children, we were told that our world once had heroes. Fairy tales to inspire hope in a world with none. As far back as anyone could remember, mankind had been at war with itself. Orphaned, like so many, I survived by the sword and my wits. Neither of which kept me from being sent to a labor camp. It would have been a death sentence had I not made a friend. Avil kept me safe, and I kept him sane. And together, we would change the course of history. Avil, did you make it to Delorum?
Yes. I've almost reached the village of Tablis. You were right, Sandra. This place is completely untouched by the invasion.
Have you made contact with the Royal Army?
No. And I'm not exactly getting a warm reception from the locals.
I'm sure they can be seduced by your charms. I was joking, sort of. They may, however, find you more appealing than the jackals about to descend on Tablis.
In moments like this, I actually find myself missing your company, Sandra. How long do I have before the jackals arrive?
Not long. If you don't act quickly, the villagers will be slaughtered. I've teleported escape crystals onto the battlefield. You need only use one of the runestones I gave you to activate them. I'll leave you to it.
Someone help!
The jackals are hunting down civilians. Use your basic attacks to slay them before they slaughter the villagers. Great work. Now charge the crystal to activate the portal and rescue the civilian.
I don't understand what's happening. What are those things? Who are you?
My name is Avil, the last of the Sentinels. I am here to ready your people for war.
I don't know anything about fighting monsters.
There is something you can do for your people. Something that will save thousands of lives.
Tell me what to do, and I'll do it.
Take this gemstone, and personally see that your king receives it. And when he does, tell him to speak my name into the stone.
The enemy has started killing civilians! Avil, you must act quickly!
Thank you! Gods protect you!
I have to save the civilians before these monsters kill them.
If you're ever lost, you can review your objectives at any time. Some people have climbed onto their rooftops to hide from those monsters. Too bad I'm not much of a climber myself.
If I jump onto the side of the building, I can climb up the wall to reach the top.
I should rescue the civilians.
The people of Delorum shall be indebted to you, Avil. Avil, congratulations. You're still alive.
Portals are opening, as you said they would. I was able to send many of the townspeople to safety.
It isn't enough.
I know. I sent your speaking stone off to the king. We'll see if he, in his royal wisdom, sees fit to make an alliance, or if he is as foolish as those who fell before him.
I know how you feel, but we're out of options. We will need to coordinate with the royal forces to fight the coming hordes, and we're going to need them soon.
The jackals I killed, they were scouts.
Yes, I hope you're ready, because the RAVENII will be attacking soon. Has King Nero made contact yet?
So far, nothing but silence.
Avil, we will need alliances to win this war. The most expedient way to convince the king of our intent is to continue fighting for his people and defending his cities. And when you do speak with the king, may I suggest employing a morsel of diplomacy?
I will think on it, Sandra. Now, tell me of our enemy. What is their location? Last we spoke, they were on course for Petrol.
You've arrived just in time. The Horde has almost reached the city limits. Now go, and show the people of Petrol how a RAVENII dies. Executing RAVENII requires rune energy. Charge your rune energy by killing jackals and rescuing civilians. That was just nasty. The citizens of Delorum are lucky to have you, Avil. Look who's early. Avil, get after that RAVENII before he starts destroying the town. Avil, you remember how this works. Hold your rune strike and aim at the RAVENII's armor and limbs. Release rune strike to attack.
This RAVENII is no match for my blade.
Great job, Avil. Removing a RAVENII's armor and severing its limbs also charges your rune energy. Once you have enough, you will be able to execute the RAVENII. Now aim your rune strike just below the RAVENII's knee to sever its leg. Target it for your rune strike. Now, Avil, execute the RAVENII! Great work, Avil. That's one less RAVENII we have to kill.
It's a drop in the ocean. If we don't begin coordinating our efforts with the Royal Army, we will soon be overrun by their numbers.
When word of your bravery reaches the king, he will be compelled to trust you.
And while we wait for the fool king to gather his courage, the RAVENII marshal their forces.
You are more right than you know. Another horde is approaching, and this one is better armed.
The next town will not be as fortunate as the last.
Avil, you've arrived just in time. The first of the RAVENII are already approaching the town.
I see you finished deploying the escape crystals as well. I'll slay this monster, and save as many as I can.
Avil, that RAVENII seems to be wearing some kind of heavy armor. Are you sure you can handle it?
You worry about getting your crystals to the surrounding town, Sandra. I'll worry about the RAVENII.
Avil, remember. Executing RAVENII requires rune energy. Charge your rune energy by killing jackals and rescuing civilians. What are you doing?
My rune strike on the locks.
Nice work, Avil. These people owe you their lives.
This time, Sandra. But what of the next? And the next? Without the King's aid, we're relegated to a single battlefield, while the RAVENII push forward on multiple fronts.
You're right, Avil. Which is why we must convince him to join us. This war will not be won by swords alone.
This is King Euro, ruler of Dolorum. You have requested an audience?
This is Avil, the last sentinel, and I wish to strike an alliance with your highness.
Was it your sorcery that created this speaking stone?
My ally, Xandra, crafted this instrument, and others from the weapons of our enemies.
If your boons are so great, why do you seek an alliance?
King Yarrow, I cannot be everywhere. At this moment, I am approaching MULTNOMAH, where a deadly horde approaches.
MULTNOMAH? No, that's too soon. I dispatched a garrison to the city, but they won't arrive in time. If you are as skilled as I have heard, Avil, then please, save as many of my people as you can. Thanks to your efforts, these people will live to see another day.
RAVENII forces are destroying the city! Avil, you must stop them!
I'll have to charge up my rune energy to take this thing down.
Okay, you might have deserved that one.
Time to kill a RAVENII.
You fought bravely, Avil. Thank you. Many of my people owe you their lives.
We are still losing too many.
I agree. Your ally.
Xandra.
She creates your weapons.
The RAVENII use a rare mineral to travel between worlds. Xandra was able to fabricate this talking stone, and our own portals, from similar materials.
I have at my disposal some of the most gifted alchemists, and even they do not understand the properties of this talking stone.
Xandra is brilliant in many ways. Yet as skilled as we are, she and I will not be enough to win this war. Will you combine your forces with our own to defeat this enemy, Your Highness?
Initially, I was reluctant to believe your claims. I had always thought the Sentinels to be a myth, a story to put children to bed.
And now?
I believe. The Royal Army has been dispersed to the locations you decided were most vulnerable to attack. But I fear this strategy leaves my forces spread thin.
I need your army to play a defensive role. By alerting me of attacks as they occur, I can engage the enemy while your forces see to the safety of your people. We'll use signals in the watchtowers to guide refugees through the safest escape routes.
Slowing the Horde down while we move people out of their path will minimize casualties, while Xandra attempts to build a portal strong enough for us to escape the RAVENII.
Avil, do you hear that? The alarm has been raised. The RAVENII are attacking on multiple fronts.
Get your people to safety, and I'll fight as many as I can.
Avil, we've gotten several reports of terrifying new jackals in the area. Don't let them harm the civilians. These refugees need your protection, Avil. Don't let them die.
No! No!
Squishy little things, aren't they? Another refugee is safe, thanks to you.
Thank you! Gods protect you! Excellent work, Avil. Onward!
Is this really safe? Thanks, I guess.
Excellent work, Avil. Good work, Avil. That civilian is safe now. Admit it, Avil. You're enjoying yourself out there. de Javille. You're enjoying yourself out there.
This is madness, Avil. We should be bringing the fight to the RAVENII, not waiting for them to attack us.
Other leaders had that same idea, Your Highness. They saw their armies butchered and their kingdoms reduced to ash. This isn't any war you've fought before, or any enemy you've ever known.
And what will you do to prevent Delorum from suffering a similar fate? Do you believe Xandra can truly build a device capable of ending this war?
I do. If you were to assist Xandra in her work and give her the resources of your court, we may find that solution sooner.
Very well. I will welcome your ally into my palace and give her the full resources of my kingdom.
Wonderful. You will soon experience her genius for yourself, and furthermore, I think you will find her to be an entertaining addition to your court.
Is her disposition as taciturn as your own?
Oh no, she's far worse.
I have met with Xandra. She is a talented and spirited individual.
You may come to appreciate her candor.
I will send an expedition to collect the material she requires, but it is not easily obtained.
No, it is not. But you must move quickly. Every day we are losing ground to the RAVENII.
I know, and they are closing in on your location as we speak. Try to stall their advance as much as you can. We'll speak again shortly.
Here they come!
While Xandra is in your care, I hold you responsible for her safety.
I understand she means much to you.
Her wisdom cuts as sharp as my blade. This war will not be won by force alone. We will need her contributions to survive.
I will guard her with my life.
Thank you, Your Highness.
Your Highness, it pains you to speak my title, doesn't it?
My history with royalty has been solely as a pawn, slave, and quarry.
And for whom did you serve?
It does not matter. Rulers were beheaded and replaced before their bodies were yet cold. Those ever-loyal citizens pledged themselves to their new king with the same breath that they cursed the last, and yet all the while they suffered. I serve none but myself now.
An expedition of my most valuable men has left to retrieve the material Xandra requires for her weapon.
That is heartening news.
The journey is not without significant risks. If the RAVENII discover what we are looking for, If they even discover us in that vicinity, our plans will be exposed.
I will draw their attention away from your mission.
I know it puts you in great danger to do so, but we may lose the war if you are not successful.
Avil, is that RAVENII's armor made of gold? You should save me some as a souvenir. This gold armor is bound by several large locks. Destroy them all with your rune strike to take the armor out. Nice work! Keep going! You may be able to use your whip on areas of that gold armor to gain a height advantage on your opponent.
This RAVENII is no match for my blade.
Your skills give us a considerable advantage. If we had more sentinels, even a handful, we could easily beat back the RAVENII and reclaim our world.
I agree. An army of sentinels would win this war handily. But the time needed to develop these skills in others is a resource we do not have. I am already struggling to defend the people of Delorum, without the added responsibility of a student.
You had a teacher, someone Xandra refers to as the Old Man. Would he not want you to train your replacement as well?
The old man took his wishes and his secrets to his grave. Better that they stay there than to speculate on his desires. He trained me to win this war. I owe him nothing more.
It sounds like you have a few secrets of your own, Avil. We have a large group of refugees traveling across the plains. If they stay on the right path, they will evade jackals that are scouting nearby.
As long as we keep the watchtowers up, they should be safe from danger.
The displaced refugee population is growing larger every day. If the RAVENII realize we are using the watchtowers as guides, our people will be in great danger.
Well, if they hadn't known before, they do now. A horde is currently approaching the Inio Plains and headed straight for the towers. Avil, you need to keep those towers up as long as you can.
On my way.
Despite your best efforts, we are losing too many people to the RAVENII attacks.
King Yarrow, this is not a typical war. Our enemy isn't settling a land dispute. We are not fighting over resources, money, or pride. Our enemy only wants one thing: our annihilation. Our goal is simply to survive.
And Xandra can achieve that goal? Tell me the resources I am extending her are not in vain.
Her mastery of the RAVENII weapons has kept us alive this long. We must continue to put our faith in her service.
I will do so for now, but know that I am frustrated with our course.
The war between men ended that day. And our fight for survival began.
With each passing day, it becomes harder to hide our movements from the RAVENII. And for how long, Avil? To what end?
Until Xandra is able to complete her device, Your Highness. She holds the key to this war. The sooner your men return from their expedition with Xandra's material, the sooner it will end.
And in the meantime, my people suffer. Even now, my scouts are reporting a RAVENII with some sort of weapon attacking from the north. Please save them, Avil.
Gods, that RAVENII wields a massive club. I need to do something about that club quickly, or the RAVENII will make short work of the city. This thing down in no time.
Across Dolorum, the wind screams, carrying with it the smell of death.
Your Highness, we have lost much of the northern and western fronts. I suggest we break the refugees into smaller groups and hide them at different locations.
A better solution would be to mobilize my people into a fighting force and give them the opportunity to fight for their own survival. I wouldn't insist on this strategy if our options were not grave. These people are our greatest resource, the future of our existence. I would rather die than endanger them needlessly.
Then heed my words, Your Highness. Do not send them to war.
The refugees have been separated, broken into smaller camps for safety.
You do not seem satisfied.
My people should not be hiding and scurrying about like vermin.
It is too risky to keep the survivors in one location. If the RAVENII discover them, they could wipe out nearly all of humanity in one attack.
And after my people are scattered to the winds, who will defend them then?
I will, Your Highness. I will not let them fall.
Send me as many as you can for now. We'll sort out the rest later.
If I don't stop the RAVENII from destroying the city, soon there will be nothing left to save.
My people have located the material Xandra requires.
No easy feat.
Perhaps, someday, you will divulge how you came to discover this resource, nestled so discreetly under the ocean waves.
As I explained, Sandra has been studying the weapons we've acquired from the dead RAVENII. The device will work, Your Highness. Soon we will be able to move people further away from danger. Lives will be saved. Isn't that the most important thing?
It is for now. May you never know the responsibility of leadership. The many compromises that one must wear like an unseasonal coat.
You wear them well, King Yarrow.
King Yarrow, we may have to adjust our objective in this conflict. Delorum may be lost.
I will not abandon the kingdom.
Respectfully, Your Highness. Delorum is no longer a kingdom. It is a graveyard.
I had hoped.
I, too, had hoped that we could vanquish our invaders and reclaim our birthright. But that moment has passed. The fight in front of us is for survival. I will continue to slow the RAVENII advance, but I cannot stop them. This is not a fight we can win.
We are defined by the world we create. It is an extension of our will, our destiny. I will not concede this kingdom to those otherworldly brutes. You may retreat, brave sentinel, and find a cave from which to lick your wounds and refine your pragmatism. But my life will end here, in Delorum.
Do you truly believe it best to sacrifice yourself and abandon your people in their darkest hour?
Your Highness, I believe you have your people's best intentions at heart, but your thoughts are in the past.
You are a perceptive man, Nabil. It may be sentimentality that keeps me from releasing my grasp on Delorum.
Perhaps it would aid you to speak her name. Your Highness?
You were born in the province of Gular?
That has always been my assumption. But the truth is, I do not know for sure.
Your mannerisms, your speech, indicate as much.
My allegiance was to my fellow soldiers, not the family crest of a man I never met.
I believe your temerity and stubbornness served you well in the service of war.
I am here today.
True. And my family is not. My daughter was born with a hitch in her step. A malady we had cause to believe could be remedied in Callum, your neighbor to the east. After much discussion and expense, passage to Callum was procured, as were the services of a doctor. My son insisted on accompanying my wife and daughter on this journey for their protection.
They were betrayed in Gular.
You know of the incident?
No, Your Highness. But I knew of men who would profit off such an arrangement. Men hired to ensure safety were often the very men you would need safety from.
The doctor sent word they had never arrived. Months later, an honest livery operator recognized the branding on a horseshoe and sent word. The silver my family were carrying for expenses had been retrieved from brothels and saloons across Gular. Your King Matthias apologized for the disappearance and made promises to find the men responsible, but no further actions on the matter materialized.
King Matthias was a fool, and if it offers solace, he met his end at a blade. His head was carried through the streets in a sack before being fed to a pig.
It does little to fill my heart.
King Yarrow, I sincerely feel for your loss. There is little I can say, other than to affirm that I am honored to fight alongside you in this conflict. Should we persevere, we can toil towards a better world.
Be honest, Avil. You missed me.
Sandra, I will admit, it is good to hear your voice again. How is the work on your portal progressing?
That's why I'm contacting you. I've run into a problem. This is a bigger, more complicated piece of machinery than I've created before. I need some help. In the Alturas Canyon, there is a community of craftsmen. The finest metalworkers in Dolorum live there. I need some of those people to help finish my project. Avil, you have to save those engineers before the RAVENII kill them.
I will, Sandra. I promise.
Metallurgy? I'm afraid not, Sentinel. You'll have to look elsewhere to find the engineer you seek.
Citizen, are you one of the famed metalsmiths of the Alturas Canyon?
That I be. Who is it that asks?
My friend Zandra requires your assistance. You will be transported to her swiftly.
Avil, you've saved one of the engineers. That's great. But we still need one more. I won't be able to build my device without them. Please, Avil, for all our sakes, you must find them.
Citizen, are you one of Alturas' famed engineers? I am seeking a talented metalsmith.
I am an engineer, but sorry to say I don't work with metal. However, maybe I can still be of help. This crane is my work. If you activate that switch, the crane will allow you to get back up here more easily. Good luck!
Okay, you might have deserved that one. Sentinel. What brings you to the Alturas Canyon?
I am seeking help from the renowned metalsmiths who are said to reside in this area. Would you happen to know where I might find one?
You are in luck, Sentinel. I am one such metalworker, and I have been quite curious about these portal stones.
Fantastic job, Avil. You've saved my engineers. Now, try to lure the RAVENII to the higher peaks.
Is this RAVENII's armor made from bones? Something tells me destroying this bone armor won't be so easy.
Avil, you've gotten a lot better with that whip. I'm actually impressed.
I wish it were as easy as it looks.
When we end this war, and spare me your cautious remarks, we should reform the Sentinel Order. You have surpassed our teacher in all ways. Think of the world we could create.
An army of Sentinels would be too powerful, Xandra. Too uncontrollable. The temptation for greed in men, all humans, is too great.
The threats we face require a risk, Avil. With your leadership, we could inspire change in the world.
I'm afraid the world would stay the same, and it would be us who changed. For the worse.
We are not the people who came before us, Avil. We get to decide who we are.
I offer a compromise, then. When this war is over, I will finish your training, and yours alone. What you decide to do with the responsibility will be up to you.
And what will be your life's vocation after my training?
Something boring.
I awoke in a temple. In front of me sat the monk and Avil with him. The monk had taught Avil some new tricks. And that's when I realized the Sentinels were real?
I am the last. All the knowledge of the Sentinels has been passed down to me.
I knew I needed to do something to help. As a blacksmith's daughter, I helped forge weapons. Now armed to fight the Hordes. The Sentinels had returned. Avil, the engineers you rescued from Altura's Canyon have been an incredible help. We're putting the final pieces of the device together now.
That's fantastic news, Xandra. How soon can you build your portal?
Not as soon as I'd like. We're not moving people a few miles this time. We're sending them across the stars. Our location has to be perfect. We only have one chance to get it right. The RAVENII, they know we're up to something. They know we have use of their portals and we're getting better at deploying them.
You think they will be looking for you?
Absolutely. And they'll figure that out by what areas you're defending.
So, what do I do?
Attack and defend randomly. Do not stay in one place too long.
Has King Yarrow traveled with you? Stayed by your side?
Oh, don't worry about me. I can't take 2 steps without a battalion of bodyguards. The king isn't going to let anything happen to me.
I'm glad to see he has kept his oath despite our disagreements. In that case, perhaps just offer him a subtle reminder that should anything befall you, the RAVENII would be considered a mercy.
Charming. How about I just tell him you said hello instead? We've been getting reports of a new abomination in the RAVENII army.
What new hell are they unleashing?
Vultures, with a taste for human flesh and a wingspan large enough to pluck a man from the ground.
Well, that is encouraging.
You want to expand on that perspective?
It's an indication the RAVENII think your plan might work. Otherwise, they wouldn't be escalating their strategic offense.
Possibly. More likely you're just dehydrated. Either way, I need you to whisk your cheerful disposition over to the City of Waits. I've just learned their people are under attack by these vultures.
With these abominations in the skies, moving civilians will be far more difficult. It's a terrible thing to see these beasts soar over walls and descend on towers.
We knew this war would be hard, Avil. The best we can do is to keep fighting.
I know. I just never believed I would have to turn my eyes towards the heavens to search for my enemies. This war cannot end soon enough.
Avil, you're doing a fantastic job of keeping the RAVENII distracted. We haven't seen so much as a single jackal in this vicinity.
And where exactly are you stationed?
Avil, there's still so much we don't understand about these stones. Exactly how they work. We can hear each other, but I can't say for certain that nobody else can hear us.
You think the RAVENII are listening to us?
After recent events, I can't be sure they are not.
That complicates our strategy.
It does, but soon it will not matter. I've found an ideal location to stage my portal, but we will require time to calibrate the device.
I will keep these beasts running in circles for as long as you need me to. They have arrived.
That was just nasty.
I knew we could count on you!
Avil, we have found the ideal location to build the portal. We are going to start building it immediately.
Fantastic news, Sandra. How soon can we start moving our people to safety?
I still have to find a place for us to go once the portal is built. And what constitutes a safe place is still being debated.
King Yarrow does not want to surrender his kingdom.
He is preserving a fantasy. We will not find sanctuary anywhere on this world. The rage the RAVENII have for us is unrelenting. If we are to survive, we have to use the RAVENII portals, as they have, to travel between worlds.
Then find us a world. Any world. Free from the hordes that pursue us. Lie to the king if you have to. When the time comes, I will take responsibility.
Avil, the portal works. We've tested it, and I found a safe place where we could bring everybody.
That's amazing, Sandra. I knew you could do it. How soon can we begin the Exodus?
Not long now. Only, I'm not sure this is a place we want to go to.
Given our present circumstances, how much worse can it be?
It's completely free from the RAVENII. In fact, it's a place they will never think to look.
So why wouldn't we want... No, hold that thought. The people here are in danger. You can tell me after the battle. They have arrived.
I knew you could defend the towers, Avil.
The place I can take us to, it's the world the RAVENII invaded from. The world the old man told us about. It is a dark and barren world. Our survival in that environment would not be assured. We will struggle against the elements and the darkness.
We have one choice. We either travel to the lifeless land they left behind, or we stay here and we die.
I can't help feel that we are being punished, all of us, for someone else's mistakes.
We get to live, because you are smarter than the men who abandoned us to this fate. The comfort of our destination is of distant concern. That world will be yours to own, Sandra. And no matter how dark it may seem, I know you will fill it with light.
Our world, Avil. Ours. You better not leave me alone with King Nero. He's apt to knight me in your absence.
Minimally, you should be forced to dance and hear your name sung in chorus.
Oh, you are an evil bastard, Avil. I pray you die of gout.
See you soon, my friend.
Avil, the portal test we did, it burned more of the mineral than we thought it would.
Is the portal going to work? We can't keep these refugees hidden for much longer.
The portal will work, but not for as long as I hoped it would. The mineral burns too quick at this volume. The gate itself will burn apart after too long.
What can we do?
We're only going to be able to open it up once, and keep it open once.
But Sandra, we have so many people.
I know, and we'll get them through.
So this is the RAVENII's latest monstrosity. Something tells me these elite jackals won't go down as easily as their little friends. The elite jackals appear to have toughened skin. Even when damaged, they barely flinch. It's too dangerous to try and channel this crystal with enemies nearby.
These refugees are lucky you showed up in time.
We agreed not to bring all our people to one place. It's too risky.
It's a tempting target for the RAVENII. I agree, but I don't see another way.
What's to stop the RAVENII from discovering the location?
We have to be calculating in our actions. The location cannot be spoken into the stone. I'll send the location to you by messenger.
How will I find your agent?
You won't. My messenger will follow the trail of dead RAVENII to find you. Until then, kill as many of these monsters as you can, and get our people ready to move.
As long as I can lift this sword, our people will pass through your gate into Sanctuary.
We're close, Avil. It won't be long now until this war is over.
This is it, isn't it? Our survival rests with your device.
Are you confident in my abilities?
Very much so. I was just thinking of how far you've come.
Avil, terrible news.
What is it, Sandra?
We have just gotten word that a group of refugees has been spotted by vultures. You must save them.
I'll do what I can. Civilians are dying. I must save them at all costs.
I heard. It was bad.
It was difficult. I pray you never encounter one of these vultures.
Well, I do have good news. We are making great strides on the portal, and it won't be long now before I can activate it.
Say the word, and I will abandon this world forever.
I need you to keep the Horde occupied a little bit longer.
I will secure the time you need.
You know the old man? He would be proud of you.
The only opinion I value is yours, Xandra.
We've been fighting for years. But with their size and numbers, our victories against the RAVENII were few and far between. It was here, in the last remaining kingdom, that we discovered the secret to the RAVENII's dominance. A weapon that would turn the war if it didn't destroy us first. The RAVENII used the crystal to open portals, allowing them to attack without warning. With some experimentations, I learned how to use it to our advantage. We began to move large groups of people and perform strategic strikes of our own. But we were running out of the material and desperate to discover its origins. And that's when I learned this wasn't just an invasion. This was a homecoming. Avil, I'm very close to finishing my work on my portal.
Is there a problem?
It may be nothing, but we've been noticing the vultures flying closer to our location. I think they're onto something.
It may be a coincidence, but we can't take the chance. I will lure the hordes to different locations and away from yours.
Thank you, Avil. We're almost ready.
Xandra. I pray your portal is finished soon. The cities are overrun with RAVENII. There isn't much left for us here to protect.
Is that your reasoning for abandoning your home?
King Yarrow, I tried to prepare you for this decision.
I understand why you deceived me, even if it disappoints me.
We are not abandoning this world, Your Highness. We are saving it. The human race will live on. It will thrive. And when the time is right, we will return. But please, King Yarrow, do not conflate geography with the human spirit.
I have had time to consider your words and your character, and I've come to realize that you, Avil, will make a fine leader one day. You understand the sacrifices and manipulation it requires.
Not the reaction I was expecting, Your Highness.
These are challenging times, and we must evolve to meet them.
So, you will lead our people across Xandra's bridge to a new world.
She instructed me to bring a candle.
The first group of refugees will be arriving soon. When they do, I'll fire up the portal and we'll begin the evacuation.
I will continue to drive back the Horde at every opportunity.
When the last group arrives, I'll tell you our location. Then, you and I can walk through the portal together and say goodbye to this hellscape.
Until then, I will try to keep this smile from my face as I slay RAVENII.
Yeah, don't smile. It never looks right when you do.
See you soon, my friend.
The RAVENII are descending on your location, Avil. There's no turning back now.
Do not bring our refugees here.
King Yarrow, is the Exodus underway?
We were ambushed. They knew exactly where to find us.
Where is Xandra?
I'm sorry. We lost so many.
Where is Xandra?
Avil, embrace your destiny.
King Yarrow, where is Xandra?
I am sorry, Your Highness. My daughter walks beside me now. She is taking me home.
King Yarrow. Xandra. Xandra, in your absence, I am left only with your words. The conversations and secrets we've shared, they echo through my thoughts, bringing me clarity of purpose. Your voice will accompany me through the battles ahead. My tribute to you will be the death of countless RAVENII.
I'll have this thing down in no time.
I seek guidance from King Avil.
This is Avil, the final sentinel.
This is Commander Abner. I have possession of the late King's speaking stone.
You found his remains?
We did.
And my ally, Zandra.
We found remnants of many humans. We await your orders, Your Highness.
I am nobody's king.
King Euro left specific instructions regarding the transfer of his throne.
I don't take orders from dead men.
Sir?
We fight, Commander Abner. Not for a throne, but for our own survival.
Abner, have the refugees begun to move?
We're trying, Your Majesty, but the camps have been thrown into chaos. The first groups are heading south, but many are being left behind.
Just keep our people moving, Abner. I'll save as many stragglers as I can. We cannot allow the Horde to reach our people.
Good work today, Commander.
Few could have saved as many as you did today.
May I ask a question?
Certainly.
Without Zandra's portal to lead us to safety, what are we working towards?
What we always have, Abner. Life. To reach for tomorrow, no matter what shape it may take. Because in tomorrow lies hope.
And if there is no hope?
Then we will tinge their victory in a sea of their blood.
Your Highness, I have an urgent message to relay.
Abner, I have explained my position. I will not take the throne.
But Your Highness...
Commander, I tire of repeating myself.
Well, I see my absence did little to improve your disposition.
Zandra?
You didn't think I'd let you win this war by yourself, did you?
I am relieved to hear your voice. I had considered the worst.
Well, save your maudlin fantasies for a later date. I need you to push back the RAVENII offensive while I figure out our next move.
Stay in touch, Zandra. I will require your counsel.
Of course, Your Highness.
Or even more people will die.
Nice work! Keep going!
My wound strike is unable to reach the armor through those thorns.
Please, tell me what happened.
The first group of refugees had arrived, and before I could open the portal, the RAVENII appeared out of nowhere. They destroyed the portal and massacred the refugees. The king kept his word, Avil. He and his men fought like devils to protect me. I saw him near the end. I wouldn't think that possible. They were particularly cruel to him.
I am indebted to the man. He was more honorable than I may have realized.
You could honor him by accepting his throne.
Xandra, that is not my role.
It's just a rock.
A rock from the ocean. Our ocean. When were you going to tell us?
They found us.
The old man had given us a home, a purpose, and the training to survive. But he kept his secrets to himself. That night, they were the death of him.
The two of you gave me hope that this time would be different. It's time for you to hear the truth. The Sentinels weren't noble heroes. They were killers and thieves.
Is it possible to build another portal?
We don't have another option, do we? The good news is, I've already built it once, and I know what I'm looking for.
Commander Abner will spare you his best men.
He needs every soldier he has to defend the front lines.
I will visit the battlefronts and slow the RAVENII advance myself.
They have arrived.
I'm saved! I am saved!
We're losing towers. I need to do something. Quick!
Commander Abner has found volunteers for my expedition.
You are confident you can find more material to power your portal?
I am, but I will have to enter RAVENII-controlled areas to retrieve more minerals.
Tell me where, and I will accompany you.
No, it's as you said, we each have our roles. You need to keep hindering the RAVENII advance.
Xandra,
Avil, I will be back.
I know you will. You're too stubborn to die. Xandra, I didn't expect to hear from you so soon.
We're in a tough spot, Avil, pinned in on 3 sides by RAVENII forces. We haven't been discovered yet, but it's only a matter of time.
Tell me where you are, and I will see to your withdrawal.
And if our conversation is compromised, that will ensure all of our deaths.
You think they are listening to us through the stones?
Their behavior all but confirms it.
I won't sit idle while you are in danger.
You won't. You're going to engage as many battlefields as you can.
And hope that I draw forces away from your undisclosed location?
With a little bit of luck, we might even live another day.
Here they come!
The refugees are being attacked. You must act quickly, my liege.
While you were drawing the Horde away from my position, I spent some time tinkering with our speaking stones.
Should we be careful about what we state here?
What I've discovered is no secret, Avil.
And what do those hellhounds have to say for themselves?
That they have a singular target now. Our king.
As I have stated,
They don't care about titles as much as you. The RAVENII recognize you as the celebrated leader of humanity. They believe if you fall, the rest of us will give up hope.
that is nonsense. You could easily lead as well as I.
That's very thoughtful, but right now they are focused solely on killing you. The RAVENII have a new target.
You've discovered their plans?
They practically announced it. They found a small group of refugees hiding in one of our abandoned cities, and now they're moving in to finish them off.
And why make it so obvious? Why give up the advantage of surprise? Unless...
They want to draw me into a confrontation on their terms.
Yes, and they are sending something special this time. An armored RAVENII covered in spikes.
Thank you! Gods protect you!
This spiked armor looks tough. I may not be able to destroy it with a rune strike alone. That rune strike alone isn't enough to damage this armor. RAVENII's attacks seem to be damaging his own spiked armor. If weakened enough, a rune strike may just do the trick.
What are you doing?
I must bait the RAVENII into attacks that damage its spiked armor. I need to stay away from those spikes.
Avil, what are you doing?
This spiked armor looks tough. I may not be able to destroy it with a rune strike alone. I'll have this thing down in no time.
Moving to save those people despite knowing it was a trap was truly brave.
Your efforts have galvanized the people of Eel.
They believe in you.
They may feel cheated when they see where we are taking them.
You have given them hope that they will have a world worth returning to. To that end, I've created speaking stones for each of the refugee tribes.
So you can call them to your location when the portal is ready.
Oh no. So their king can lead them to victory.
The days of kings are over, Sandra.
So you say, Your Highness.
Have you found enough material to power the portal?
More than we can carry, which is part of the problem. The Horde has altered its position, I believe, to catch us on our return trip.
What should I do?
A small sortie of jackals are planning an attack to the west. If you can force them to withdraw or call for reinforcements, that should allow us to slip through undetected. Nasty. Careful, Avil. Find cover to regain your health. Avil, you all right? I knew you could defend the towers, Avil. Another RAVENII is heading towards you now, Avil.
Did Abner make it?
He did. I'll admit our progress will be much faster now with the extra help.
So, you're saying I was right?
I know it's a new experience for you, Avil, but don't get too excited. Everyone gets lucky once.
Once, humans and the RAVENII shared the world. The most savage among us joined their army. These sentinels became ground troops, clearing the path for invasion. Both profited from the misery of lesser creatures, but the sentinels became greedy and betrayed the RAVENII. They destroyed the portal, abandoning them to a barren world. Without monsters to fear, mankind descended into chaos, and the sentinels faded into myth. While, in the darkest region of the universe, the RAVENII made new allies and found their way home. And they won't be satisfied until they've murdered every last one of us.
I have found an inspired place to build the new portal. We have begun construction.
How will I know the location when the time is right?
I am sending a messenger toward the front lines. He will follow the sound of battle and find you.
That is a risky plan, Xandra.
Fortune favors the bold. Now, go create some havoc so my messenger may hear you.
I hope you're ready, Avil. The RAVENII have arrived.
Commander Abner, you are the messenger Xandra sent? A dangerous task, and one too important for our commander. Why?
I know you consider yourself a humble warrior and discouraged tribute, but I wanted the honor of meeting you in person. The last Sentinel, a legend sprung to life.
I am a soldier, Abner, like yourself.
You work toward a better life for us all, at your own risk. Not only do I believe we will survive, but that our best days might still be ahead.
Abner, I may not share your beliefs, but I am still humbled by them. Thank you for accepting this dangerous task.
Oh yes, the message. Xandra claims the portal is at the site of your spiciest victory.
My what? Oh yes. I rescued a spice merchant in Petrol when I first arrived in Dolorum.
That is in RAVENII territory.
And the last place they'd expect her to be. I received your message.
I know it meant a lot to Abner to deliver it in person.
He is a good man. If you intend to expand the Sentinel Order on our new world, I think he should be your first candidate.
Avil, Abner and his men didn't make it back. I learned they were picked off by vultures while crossing a river.
Xandra, tell me this bloodshed is nearly at an end.
We're working as fast as we can. I need you to just keep the Horde occupied a little longer.
Another refugee is safe, thanks to you.
These people are tired, Xandra. Within each civilian I save, I see the bone weariness of war, the hollowed eyes of loss. They do not deserve this. Should I survive, I will devote myself to the care of our people.
That is the job of a king, Avil. Are you finally ready to accept that responsibility?
I will accept on one condition, Xandra. That you join me as commander of our forces.
For that to happen, you must live a long life.
I will try.
I have a condition of my own.
What is it?
After you are king and your head swells to the size of a RAVENII, don't forget who got you here. To me, you will always be the defenseless child I protected in the labor camps.
That is not how I remember it.
Oh dear, it's already begun.
Avil, my portal to the new world is complete.
You have saved us all, Xandra.
Not yet, I haven't. I need you to enter the battlefield one last time and push the RAVENII away from our position.
Yes, Commander.
Another RAVENII for me to slay. These thorns aren't going to make it easy on me.
That's one less RAVENII for us to face.
The RAVENII know something is about to happen, but they do not know where or how.
They can ponder the mystery in our absence.
Everything we've worked for, everything the old man and King Yiro prepared us for, this is it.
I am ready.
I am opening the portal, Avil. Let the people hear you. Guide them to the town square of Petrol. From there, we will lead them to the portal.
People of Dolorum, this is King Avil. Our suffering is at an end. Our extinction averted. Join me in Petrol, where I will lead us to Sanctuary.
Avil, you must retreat to the portal. More RAVENII are on their way.
Have all of our people made it through?
There are too many.
The portal is too powerful to hide. The RAVENII will be drawn here.
If the RAVENII discover where the portal leads to, all is lost. We have done all we can.
No, we have not. I will hold here until the last of our people makes it to safety. I am King Zandra, and a host of enemies have come to destroy my citizens.
Let them come.
Avil, the entire horde will be descending upon us. We won't be able to...
Let them come.
Avil, you must save as many civilians as possible while the RAVENII are busy assembling their forces. Good work, Avil. That civilian is safe now. Avil, you must save as many civilians as possible while the RAVENII are busy assembling their forces. Nice job, Avil. Keep up the good work. The people of Dolorum shall be indebted to you, Avil.
Thank you! Gods protect you! Thank you! Gods protect you!
Too dangerous to try and channel this crystal with enemies nearby.
Get ready, Avil. A massive horde is on its way.
Blessed be Dolorum! I am saved!
cover to regain your health. Do it, Avil.
Another RAVENII has arrived. How long can I keep them at bay?
While the Horde is regrouping, save as many civilians as you can. That's one less RAVENII for us to face.
No challenge at all.
I need to concentrate, or even more people will die.
Another refugee is safe, thanks to you. Good to see my portals are holding up. Another horde is on its way, Avil. We just need to hold out a little bit longer. The enemy has started killing civilians. Avil, you must act quickly. Good work, Avil. That civilian is safe now. my portals are holding up. One less RAVENII for us to face.
I must defend the city from the RAVENII. I must find cover to regain my health. Another RAVENII has arrived. How long can I keep them at bay?
Avil, the portal is fading. We have to leave. For many of you, it is the only home you've ever known. But there is a better world out there, and it is worth fighting for, even dying for. And that, children, is how we came to live on this world. We are returning to reclaim what was stolen from us. That is how we honor King Avil and the sacrifices he made to save us. After years of living in darkness, dawn is finally breaking. Raise your swords and join me, my sentinels, and we will step into the light together as heroes. I'll see you on the other side.